Hi, my name is Jessica Lurch, and I'm the co-founder of Career Vault. We work with research leaders and aspiring researchers at academic institutions and research institutions and companies to help make your job more fun, more successful, and less isolating. And I'm here today to talk to you about the National Institutes of Health implementation of a new common form for the Biosketch. Use of the common forms for Biosketch current and pending support and NIH Biographical Sketch Supplement will be required for applications due after January 25th. This is also for JIT, RPPR, and prior approval submissions. So I've got that highlighted here for you. So that's what we're talking about today. The main takeaways from this video are for you to understand how to find and use this form and where to put the information in the new Biosketch Common Form, as well as how and where it's appropriate to put information. Now, if you've been working in this form in early January 2026, as I have, you might have come across some glitches, but it seems to be working at least a little better now, and so maybe they're getting the bugs worked out. All right, so the easiest way to find this is to just Google SciENcv. So if you put that right into Google or your internet browser, you will see it come here. And when you click this link, this opens. Actually, let me do that in real time so you can follow. So when you click that link, it actually takes you here to the National Library of Medicine site. You can see I'm already logged in. And if you are not logged in, you can log in a variety of ways. There's lots of options, including Google and Microsoft. But likely, if you're at an academic institution or research institution, or even a small company or large company, you likely have an ERA Commons account. So if you click that, it will take you to SciENcv. And so we can see that it's logged me in through my NCBI. And again, how you're getting here might be different, but it is cloaked under the My NCBI website. If you're there and familiar with this interface, SciENcv is down here at the bottom. What we can see is that there's several biosketches I have here. I'm going to just click on Manage. It's going to take me here to my profile, and you can see all my biosketches, even going back many years. The new form will be labeled as a new form. So if you do not have a biosketch here that says common form, you will want to create a new document. But we're going to look at this document I've already created. So if we go here, again, you can sort of see the path where you're at. You can give your name if you create a new document, and then you just start to edit this form. I encourage you to read all of these instructions. But here, the identifying information, you can edit this. They're just pop-ups that come. Open, put in your information. You can put in your ORCID ID and save it. Professional preparation, these are your basically the training table that used to be in the old Biosketch. You can add preparation here. When you open this, you can select degree or training and fill in all the fields. And they appear in the order they want them. Then you have B, appointments and positions. And again, you can put in all your current and past appointments and positions here. C is products. So work products are very much defined like they were before. So this isn't just publications and conference papers. It also is presentations, websites, technologies, patents, all of those things. So review this carefully. Then they talk about what's included in each one. And here is where you can edit the products. When you click edit, it will take you to the My Bibliography page. This is where I was having a lot of errors in the last several weeks. And so I'm not going to open it now in fear of that, but you can put in products that are closely related to the proposed project. So this is a point I want to emphasize, and this is a new point. You're going to have to make a new common form biosketch for each application because of this new certification process and because of the way that they're limiting the number of work products that you can include. So there's no longer a link to your My Bibliography where you can show reviewers all of your work products and publications. So you can only choose 5. that are related. So here's just 5 that are examples. And then the other place you can put up to 5 only is this other significant products highlighting contributions to science. So again, this is a big difference in the contributions section, which is on the supplement form. You will be able to refer to these, but you can only put up to 5. I know there's 4 here. You can add a 5th. And likely we're going to want to center each contribution around each one of these highlighted products, because this is all that you can present in your biosketch as it stands now. So when you get to the personal statement, again, this is very similar to the personal statement you knew well in the old biosketch form. You just click edit. You can go in and type in here. I suggest preparing this in Word or another formatting, word formatting program, so that you can make sure that the grammar is correct and there's no typos. You can certainly refer to work products in this section that are related, again, to the project at hand. We still encourage you to state your role on the project in each personal statement. And so this is, again, another big difference compared to the old biosketch, where we might help our contributors with this section. So we might provide them with a sentence or 2 that states their role in the project and why their role is helping the project's feasibility. This is likely still essential to convince reviewers that you have the right team in place. And so you might consider writing something like this for your collaborators, just so it's clear, and asking them to put this in here, because you will not be able to access this. Again, it's credentialed, and you won't be able to change it after it's downloaded because of the certification process, which I'll talk about in a moment. Then you can list honors. You can list up to 15. This is just a window that pops up and it will order it for you. So that's kind of nice. The contributions to science. This is the other place where it's quite different. So there's a character limit, 2,000 characters, which includes spaces, and you can't list work products with each contribution anymore, but only refer to the 5 that you listed in the other significant products section. You can have up to 5 contributions to science. And they do give instruction on how to refer to those work products within this section. They say there's no format. However, they recommend using the title, the author's name. If you're not in that long list, but you are an author on that paper, then you would want to highlight your role in that project as well, as that you're listed as an author. So again, just to reiterate, you are not allowed to provide citations here. So you can't add additional ones beyond those 5 above. So that's a big difference. So make a note of that. And, logically, this change might mean that you write each contribution around one main paper among each theme for your contributions, because you won't be allowed to add more products to support your statements except the ones you listed. Okay, and here I've just filled in some text so you can see. All right, now this section. There are 2 certifications. Again, this leads us to believe that you're going to have to create an individual biosketch form using this user interface for each application for which you submit, because you have to certify that each one is true and acknowledge this Privacy Act burden statement each time when you download it. So when you click download, that certification window pops up as you see here. So if you don't see the pop-up, make sure your browser is allowing pop-ups, okay? So you have to click certify, and only then when you click certify is your download in progress. So when you click that downloaded file, this is what you see. Interestingly, they're using what looks like Times New Roman font, which as of January 14th, 2026 is not an NIH recommended font, but for now, that's what looks like is appearing here. Whether NIH will change that recommendation in the format guidelines is unknown. You can see the top table looks similar to a degree. However, there's no ERA Commons account listed, and your ORCID ID now appears. You have your training table, your appointments, and then here's the products. Again, these are the only work products that are allowed to be listed now are these 10. Then you have your certification. Then when you get to that biosketch supplement form, Again, you see the top is very much the same. Your personal statement appears here, your honors, and then your contributions. Again, I only provided one example here and just text describing what this would be, but you would have up to 5, and then this certification will appear.
Thanks for listening. We hope this was helpful. If you're interested in signing up for our monthly newsletter, please scan this QR code. All right, see you next time.